Hello everyone, here Fernando once again. In this video I will show you why you should never trust a magician or a gambler when they shuffle the cards. Okay, now I'm gonna give it a quick little shuffle before we begin. And one of the challenges in this video is to find the aces even though the cards they're all mixed up. Okay, now let's begin. I'm gonna try to find one of the aces right here. Okay, one before or one after there is no ace. One more time, this is the second ace. If I go one before or one after, it wouldn't be any other ace. Now since I only have two more aces left to go, the third one is a little bit more tricky, so it should be 20 cards down, right on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and the 20th is the third ace. One before or one after, it wouldn't be any other ace. And the last one, finally. This is the more tricky because it's only one chance. Okay, let's see right here. There you go. And the final and the four ace. Okay, so in this performance all you need is the four aces on top before you even begin. The shuffle is to accomplish the aces to be interlaced every other one in the position number 17, 19, 21, and 23. Now to accomplish that, there are two ways. The way I did it in the performance is taking 12 cards, but one by one, doing the overhand shuffle. 12, and then the 13 I in-jog it and keep doing the mess right above so you can conceal the in-jog card. Then I do the thumb break, right the 12 cards. Then I do 1, 2. I try to accomplish this overhand shuffle quicker so they don't really see the huge thumb break. Anyway, I have the aces on the position 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, the 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, next is gonna be a faro shuffle. You don't have to do a perfect faro shuffle through the whole deck, just in the upper half. The way it works better, the overhand shuffle, is by using a brand new deck. The problem is that with the brand new decks, the cards are a little bit more, well, they're stiff, too stiff, and sometimes for some false cuts and false shuffles, it's not as easy. As you can see over here, this is important. The aces, they are right in this half. When the aces are in this half, and the card, as you can see, is right above, and the third ace is going to end up at the position number 19. If the card is going to end up right above from this opposite half, then the third ace is going to end up at the position number 20. Okay, now you don't have to do the performance as I did it in the routine because it's a little bit tricky using all those false cuts and flourishes maybe, but I'm gonna show you also the most easiest way. And this setup, as you can see, it doesn't have to be a perfect faro shuffle through the whole deck. All you need is just, as you can see over here, right here in the middle, I have two cards, but that's okay because that's right under the upper half. All you need is a perfect faro shuffle on the upper half. And from here, it's better always to have the third ace in the position number 19 because it looks, or it sounds more random than the position 15, 20, 25. So 19 is a little bit more random. And it's also better because through the routine, sometimes you may forget if the card end up on top or not. And that's kind of tricky, you know, when you have to remember many other stuff. So At this point I have the right setup: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 1 ace, and every other card, and 19, 21, and 23. Now this is actually a real estimation cut, but it's quite easy. It is really hard to miss. You just cut right above the half. You just have to remember the thickness, and if it's not here, it's gonna be over here. Okay, it doesn't matter. You have many chances. If it's not here, it should be over here. You don't need any crimps, any bendings. You see, this is the other ace, so it's quite simple. Just maybe you give it 5 tries, you'll be able, not without even looking actually, just by feeling with your thumb the thickness, and that's one of the aces. So the point is how to produce the aces. Now the aces production is that the first one and the second ace production. The most complicated ones maybe the last one and the third one. So I'm gonna show you the routine in the same sequence. Well, you don't need to do the one hand triple false cut as I did it. But if you want to know how to do this, just go to the link number 1. I'm gonna post it in the same sequence in this video footnote, and that's a false cut anyway. It doesn't really change anything. Then the first production, an ace. Now usually when I start cutting, I try to go and reach, just in case this is not an ace, so people doesn't think I'm failing. Just try to cut, reach, and if this is the ace, just show it over there, put it inside. And as you can see, if I go before or after, there is no ace. The reason is, so this card, it should always go 1 to the top, so the aces can keep going further down, okay, and keep them approximately in the same, somewhere close. Now the second ace, you can also just do this, okay. I tried to do it a little bit more complicated, and no, it's not really that complicated, but I use the index finger in this case to cut, and I try to pay attention not to miss it. I just try to see the thickness, okay, because it's not the same thing cutting with a thumb. You don't have the same feeling, the same sensation than cutting with the index finger. At this point I have the ace right here. I try to do this false cut. If you want to know how to do this false cut, just in case, go to the link number 2 if you want to know how to do this false cut. Okay, I already showed this in great detail. If you want to know, I actually have a little bit more of a variation in Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, it doesn't really matter. Just by looking what I'm doing, that's gonna be good enough, because in Spanish I actually show other variations that I didn't get to explain in English. You keep learning further in the process. And what I'm doing here, this is an ace. I just cut it right here, and I did 4 cuts, and then I show it. Now if it's not here, it's gonna be right here. If it's right here, be careful when you spin the cards. Sometimes the ace is gonna be over here. It's gonna be another ace because they are interlaced. And by sliding the thumb, you may expose the next ace. Okay, at least it wasn't any ace over here, or sometimes it may be. So you have to be careful when sliding the thumb right under, and always try to go and reach for the next card. Okay. The next excuse is if I go 1 before or 1 after, there is no ace, so I can move the next card right here to the top. Now the third and the fourth ace, they are going to be the most complicated ones. I mean, you can still go and try it. There is no ace, you see. It becomes a little bit more, it's not impossible. And there you go. But in this case, just to be sure you don't miss it, it should be in the position number 19. Okay, in the routine it was actually in the position number 20, because when I did at the beginning the first shuffle, as I already mentioned, the card from the other half, it ends on top, and that's okay. I still can remember, but it's better in the routine to to have it, in the position number 19, so it works every single time without memorizing anything. I have 10 cards, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 is the next ace. If I go one before or one after, there is no ace. The next ace is going to be over here, the last one. Then I flip them over and I put the next ace right on top, and then I need to move it from the top to the bottom. You can do a double undercut or triple undercut. In this case, I did a thumb break, a huge one, just so you can see. Then I move this bottom half to the top, and then I cut from the thumb break. I have the ace right here. So when I do the riffle shuffle, the ace is going to end up right under. And then for the last production, which I already have also another tutorial how to do the last ace production, which is all the way at the bottom, and then just toss it. I have some other variations and more detailed explanation if you go to the link number 3 or 4, I don't know. Let me begin so I can mention a few other details. Also the overhand shuffle, the way I did it. 12 cards, and then I hold it with a pinky break a little harder, so you don't need to in-jog anything. And you can do 1, 2, and that 12 cards. Okay, it's gonna be 9, 10, 11, and 12. The 4 aces right on top. And then again the ferrule shuffle, so they can end up in the position you need them. Again, this deck of playing cards is not in great shape, so I have a little hard time. Anyway, I have a perfect ferrule shuffle, and the third ace production is going to be in the position number 19. When I get to the third ace production, again, you can simply do this production, one before or one after, and you can do a false cut, whatever you want to do, a simple one, and then go for the next one. Okay, the second ace, one before or one after, there is no ace. Oh, and this is what I forgot to mention, what I did in the routine. What I did is this false cut. I already have this tutorial in another video. You can go to this video footnote. Again, I guess it's going to be the link number 5, I don't know at this point. But I'm going to keep them in the right sequence, not in the explanation sequence, but in the performance sequence. Just watch the performance and that's going to be in the right sequence. Anyway, so from here, I did this false cut, and then I try, to make it, since the third is going to be a little bit more complicated. So I just pretend I'm trying to count or locate the ace. It's nothing really. The next ace is going to be in the position number 19. And again, you have the one before one after. Actually, the right routine, the right sequence that I watch, the 4 ace is the one you do for the counting, but instead I do the counting in the third ace. So it's a little easier for me not to have a huge risk in doing an estimation cut. Now, by having the aces obviously interlaced, it's going to be really hard to miss because you have a huge gap in which you can cut, and that's going to give you better possibilities on the first 2 aces. The third one is a little bit more complicated, and the fourth one I decided to do the last production. You can go for it, or you can just do the counting for the last one. And that's pretty much it.